and let me share my PPT presentation. Can you give me the access to the PPT, please?
Yes, sir, given.
So good evening once again. We will be initially discussing about the cyber forensics and cyber security, which are very important and part of the cyber laws. Friends, you're all aware that during this particular cyber crimes, yesterday few questions were arised. Sir, what will be the general applicable laws and also the punishments on the various crimes which are happening in nowadays in the cyber crimes areas? I would like to share with you few very important one before I start this presentation. When you have a complaint on a mobile phone, section 379 of IPC, for 3 years imprisonment or fine or both are applicable. Receiving the stolen computer or mobile phone data or a computer or mobile phone owned by you is found in the hands of someone else, then the applicable ITAA 2008 is section 66B of ITAA 2008. ITAA means the Information Technology Amendment Act. So 3 years of imprisonment or rupees 1 lakh fine for both. That is for a computer or mobile phone stolen from you and when you find from others. At the same time, section 411 of IPC, 3 years imprisonment or fine or both are applicable. Data owned by you or your own company in any form is stolen under ITAA Act under section 66, 3 years imprisonment or fine up to rupees 5 lakhs or both. Section 379 of IPC, 3 years imprisonment or fine or both applicable. These are all related to the cyber crimes, where you also need to understand that what is the punishments on it. A password is stolen and used by someone else for fraudulent purposes. Section 66C is applicable. ITAA of 2008, 3 years imprisonment and fine up to rupees 1 lakh, and section 66D is also applicable. The 3 years imprisonment and fine up to 1 lakh is also applicable. At the same time, under IPC Indian Penal Code, that the section 419 of IPC, 3 years imprisonment or fine, and section 420 of IPC is also applicable, 7 years imprisonment and fine. Just think of the situation where we are and we doesn't even know that this kind of a punishments are already there in the laws. So need to understand that when a crime is been happening in the cyber side, and what all the things you are need to be aware, being understanding on the basics of cyber laws, at the same time the importance on it and various avenues of it, like cyber forensics, cyber security, and also the evidence, special reference to the admissibility of electronic record. So as we are in the nascent stage in implementing the cyber crimes punishments, but the awareness is very important, so that the persons, those who are joined today and yesterday, will be able to take this particular knowledge and also get implemented during their services given. For example, in an email is read by someone else by fraudulently making use of your password, then section 66 of Information ITAA of 2008 and 3 years of imprisonment, fine up to rupees 5 lakhs or both are applicable. Section 66C is also applicable of ITAA 2008, 3 years imprisonment and fine up to rupees 1 lakh is also applicable. At the same time, if a biometric thumb impression is misused, then section 66C of ITAA of 2008, 3 years imprisonment and fine up to rupees 1 lakh. These are, I'm just mentioning to you very, very important things which I missed out during the yesterday's second presentation. So just bring it to your knowledge, and I will also share this particular information in a Word format to the organizers. They will again share with you in a in your emails. I will only mention to you very important one. An electronic signature or a digital signature is misused. Section 66C of ITAA of 2008 is applicable, and 3 years imprisonment and fine up to 1 lakh rupees is fined. A phishing email is sent out in your name asking for a login credentials. Section 66D is applicable, which is for 3 years and imprisonment and fine up till 1 lakh. Also under IPC, section 419 of IPC, 3 years imprisonment or fine or both are applicable. Very important one, tampering with computer sources document. Section 65 is applicable. Section 66 is also applicable. In section 65 under ITAA of 2008, a 3 years fine, a 3 years imprisonment and 2 lakh rupees. Whereas under section 66 ITAA of 2008, 3 years imprisonment and fine up to 5 lakh rupees is applicable. When data modification, which I am going to only refer you, very important one. Section 66 of ITAA of 2008 is applicable. 3 years imprisonment, fine up till 5 lakhs is applicable. So these are all very, very important aspects which you also need to be keep in mind, so that the minimum cyber crimes which are happening, the minimum knowledge is also required by you. So misusing a Wi-Fi connection for acting against the state, section 66 of is applicable of ITAA, 3 years imprisonment or fine up to 5 lakh rupees or both. Section 66F, life imprisonment of ITAA of 2008 is also applicable. This is for misusing of Wi-Fi connection for acting against the state. Just I am bringing you notice of very, very important issues where generally you go through and you'll also unknowingly do these mistakes. But you also need a responsibility that after knowing this, getting this particular knowledge on the punishment side, you also need to give the awareness to other people also. So these are all the important things which you need to have in your mind when somebody has some questions. They will ask what you have undergone in the cyber laws. So we have been discussing what is cyber laws yesterday. We have discussed about the cyber crimes and where some important sections which we have missed out. Very important one, bogus websites, cyber frauds. Section 66D of ITAA of 2008, 3 years imprisonment and fine up to rupees 1 lakh. Whereas under IPC section 419, 3 years imprisonment or fine. Also, both are applicable. Section 420 of IPC, 7-year imprisonment and fine, both are applicable. So these are all the important thing. One more very important which I left out is making a false document. Section 66D of ITAA of 2008, 3 years. That means 3 years imprisonment and fine of up till 1 lakh. And at the same time, in the section 465 of IPC, 2 years or fine or both is applicable. So please friends, keep in mind very important things which the applicable punishments on the cyber crimes. Email abuse, generally we abuse the people on email, but be careful, you will be punished under section 66A of ITAA of 2008, 3 years imprisonment and fine. This section was recently struck down by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. But whereas section 500 of IPC, 2 years imprisonment or fine or both is applicable. Very important. Copyrights infringement, yesterday we have been discussing on that. Section 66 of ITAA of 2008, 3 years imprisonment or fine, both 5 lakh rupees fine. Section 63 and 63B of Copyright Act of 1957 is also applicable. Just keep in mind that for every act you have a punishment which are very, very important, but at the same time these punishments are applicable under ITAA and also under IPC. So just keep in mind on this, and we will be able to take you through now to understand on forensic and cyber security things. We will be discussing very important aspects of the cyber forensic, and before I will be able to take you through the introduction part of it initially. Few minutes, please. Yeah, let me first getting into the cyber forensics introduction. It is simply an application of sorry, I missed out the important one before I get into the explanations part of it. Yeah, very important one we are going to discuss on forensic or security. The important contents which we are going to discuss today is on cyber forensic, first on introduction part, cyber forensic and its classification, and cyber forensics and its analysis abilities, and the computer forensic investigation, forensic examination process, cyber security and cyber criminals, cyber security and trends in changing cyber security, role of social media in cyber security techniques, and cyber ethics, which we are going to discuss. Initially, we will be discussing on the introduction part of it. It is simply an application of computer investigation and its analysis. Very important is its techniques, and in the interest of determining the potential legal evidences. Forensic computing is a process of identifying and preserving analysis and analyzing the presentation of digital evidence in a manner that legally accept, and it is a study of evidence of attack on computer system in order to learn that has occurred. So need to have very important fundamentals on what is cyber forensic, and identifying and preserving, analyzing and presenting the digital evidence. So these are all the forensic computing in the process, which is very important. At the same time, we need to understand the cyber forensics and its classification also, wherein you will find the classification side on the cyber forensic side is the important aspects you need to before getting into examination and understanding of a forensic side. Disk forensics you may be coming across when you are dealing with a forensic science, and Disk forensics are very important. Network forensics, wireless forensics, database forensics, mobile device forensics, GPS forensics, email forensics, and memory forensics. These are all the classifications of a cyber forensics which will come across when you are looking into a cyber forensics aspects, and the classification will fall in this particular category. This forensics are deals with extracting data information from storage media, that is searching active deleted files and also from unallocated slack spaces. This generally you also will come across whenever suddenly you delete something in the cyber side in your computer or in your hard disk, because you may be thinking that by deleting the important files or which you have done some certain kinds of mistakes by your customers or by yourselves, then you will think that the data is completely deleted. But no, the forensics will help you to examine through the disk forensics, which we have been coming across on various classification side. In the network forensics, it is a sub branch of the digital forensics relating to monitor and analysis of the computer network traffic for the formation of purpose of the information gathering, legal evidence of intrusion and detection. Unlike other areas of digital forensic, network investigation deal with volatile and dynamic information, and network traffic is transmitted and then lost. So no network forensic is often a proactive investigation. So these are the two important ones which we have been discussing about the classification side. At the same time, you also need to understand the other classifications, that is wireless forensics, where is a sub-discipline of network forensic. The main goal of wireless forensic is to provide the methodology tools and collect and analyze the wireless network. Also, it is very important in the wireless is voice over IP technologies, especially the wireless can include the voice conversations also. Just note it down. These are the important aspects of the classification of a forensic side, where the explanations you need to get into examination when you are looking into a examination part of the cyber forensic side, and the important explanation on a classification. The database forensic are very important, is one of the branch of digitalization of forensic science, where the examination of data will be related to the timestamps that apply to the row and is related to table being inspected and tested for viability. That means to verify the action of database users. So this is also very important part of it, where the database is examined through the disk usage, and when the disk usage through the wireless, sometimes it is also get examined when the cyber forensic classification explanations are made. Malware forensic, that means it is an investigation and analyzing the malicious code for identification like virus, trojan, worms, keyloggers, and study the payloads, their payloads. At the same time, mobile forensic device are important, which the retrieve the address book, analyzing the call logs, and that means the missed calls, dialed and received, pair device history, incoming, outgoing SMS, all these videos and photos and audios, etc. These are the few classification explanations for you, that when you enter into a cyber forensic side, where you all need to get analyze this kind of important aspects. So wherein you will find certain other important like GPS forensics and email forensics and memory forensics also. In GPS device, retrieve track logs, track points, waypoints, and also the routers, stored locations, and home offices. Whereas in email forensics, you will be able to look into the aspect of deleted emails, calendars, and contracts. In the memory forensic side, you will be looking at the raw form of carving the data from a raw dump, that is systems, register, cache, and through the RAMs. So these are the important aspects which we have discussed about the classification explanations when you undergo a cyber forensic side. So keep in mind that these are the applicable classifications for you while you are doing a certain level of the scrutiny or to understand the laws of this particular cyber crimes. These are the important aspects you may also argue upon, or you may also take the evidence through this particular analysis model. Whoever the agents do this particular process or analyze this, when you are arguing in the other legal side or when you are yourself involving in this, you need to take care of this kind of a classifications which are very important, and that is why this explanation has been given in this particular presentation. Now let us go to the cyber forensic analyst should have the ability to extract certain informations through this particular forensic explanations. That means this classifications. That means active files you need to look into, whereas the deleted files you need to look into, and also the file metadata, software applications, hidden files, data unallocated sectors like swap files, data retrieval from forbidden disks and defragmentation of the disk, email tracing, email box recovery, recycle bin, registry, forensic analysis of mobile phones, BIOS examination, password cracking, handheld device examination, mobile phones, PDA SIM card examination. All these things are important analyst abilities. That means not only the classification explanation you need to examine, but also the analyst abilities also need to be looked into. If you are not able to look into this, you will be missing certain aspects during the forensic examination or your arguments or your basis when you are making for a client or for your own client examination part of it. There are certain steps which need to be followed, the phases of computer, that is the forensic investigations also. We have discussed the classification explanation, we have discussed about the analytic abilities. Now we will be discussing about the investigation process. What are the important steps in this? The important first step is that preliminary analysis, and the second step is the forensic copy acquisition or recovery and extraction. Step 3 is detailed analysis and report. So these need to be kept in mind. But when you do this particular important investigation, we also need to look at the examination process. See, understanding the importance of the cyber forensic is first and basic importance. Understanding their classifications, understanding their investigation process has to be always, we should get acquainted with this knowledge in the forensic side. If you fail in one of these things aspects while you are doing your examination or while you are preparing your docket or anything, then you will be losing some kind of an information during your examination process. So these examination process are also there, where what you need to keep in mind in this particular forensic system. That means the step 1 is identification, step 2 is acquisition, and step 3 is extraction, step 4 is preservation, step 5 is the evaluation, step 6 is interpretation, and step 7 is presentation. You have to keep in mind all this examination process. If you fail to have lost something during your process, these steps, if you are not following the examination, then you will be failing with some kind of a data during your investigation process. So just friends, keep in mind these are the important steps which need to be followed with the process also. Not only the steps, preliminary, what you have to do. All these three important steps. In the sub steps, you need to keep in mind what is the process examination steps also. If you do fail in this particular process also, then you will be lacking with some knowledge, you will be losing some data. At the same time, we will be discussing about what is the cyber security also. Why? Because we have discussed about the cyber forensic now until the classification, the process, we have discussed about the investigation. So various things in the forensic side which you need to be capable, understand the theoretical part of it, and you need to be very careful in investigation part of it. Now we will go through the cyber security. Why is cyber security awareness is very important? It is an advanced technology having changed the modern way of life. Yes, it is a important. It is very important and advanced technology. That means we have got the cyber crimes, but at the same time, keeping in mind the importance of cyber security is always. Yesterday, I have been talking more in my presentation about the preparedness. Yes, when we go to the ATM, we have been discussing. When we go to for your website on a networking on a banking system, we have been looked into preparedness. Yesterday, we have been on many aspects like defamation, these kind of aspects. When you have discussed yesterday 4 to 5 important aspects, we have not discussed much on the security side. But today, after going through the cyber crimes, after going through the importance of the cyber forensic side, we will be now at last on the cyber laws, which is one side of the security. Need to understand that under the computer system, there is a huge flaws are happening. But at the same time, when you have the definition of cyber crimes, you will be only come across with two aspects. That is, cyber crimes are happening. It is a mode of crime happening between a computer and technology. We have already discussed about the computer part of it. Now we will be discussing about more on the technology where security need to be taken care. The second aspect of this presentation concentrates on cyber security. The internet providers provide us with many benefits. Yes, we are free, we are very good. We have the freedom of using our own internet process as we like nowadays, because the internet provision is available not only in the computer, not only in your laptops, now it is available in your electronic mobile gadgets. Friends, I am also like you only. When the easy way of doing anything in your life, you will just catch up your mobile on your hand and do everything. I have now thought, when my daughter is sitting with me, she will look at me when I'm using a computer or a mobile. She will look me as an absolute person, that is an outdated person. But when I start looking at doing the work myself on a mobile, she will think that I'm very intelligent. Just think of the changing scenarios and also the changing technology, advanced technology. Not only the advanced technology, but it is also primary loaded. We are also acquainted with various purposes of using everything in a mobile now. There is no need for me to have a laptop. There is no need for me to have a computer. Maybe recent past of this corona situation, everybody started using the laptop, but that is also have become absolute now. So friends, we should also at the same time need to take care of, when we are using these advanced gadgets, advanced mobiles, advanced technology, we need to also to take care of the security in this. That means communicating with the friends, searching for information, doing banking transaction, availing online services, finding jobs, finding life partner, even running entire business. That means we are doing everything on the mobile. We are doing net banking. We are keeping open. It is like our home. The mobile is open for everything. That means the security is not there for your own mobile. Let us start from the technology transformation of today. What is there in your hands? That means when while you're doing your own banking transaction, availing online service, finding job, finding even the life partner. I don't know what will be the future. So finding our own life partner, even running entire business is happening on mobile. How insecure we are. I don't know tomorrow what we are going to do with mobiles. So situation has already crossed the limits. The technology what we are using is open to everybody, but at the same time, we are not taking care of the security things, which is given an opportunity for the cyber crimers or for the hackers to intrude into our gadgets and get whatever they want, simply sitting in their homes and simply sitting outside on the roads. It is easy money. It is easy money they are making. It is the things we are getting it open to the people. We are making welcome to the cyber crimers. We are inviting the hijackers. We are inviting the cyber crimers, and this kind of things, when they do the stolen things from our own gadgets, then what will be the security for us? We need to question ourselves. So very important things. Now A to Z, I think after giving birth, our parents to us, the only thing they may be doing is only naming us. That means we have given an opportunity for them to name me as JLN Murthy. But before I say father or mother, mummy or papa, I am started using, my children and my great grandchildren will be started using mobiles without even naming first mother or father. Just think of the situation what we are in. The internet touches almost all aspects of our lives. However, it also makes us vulnerable to wide range of threats. I am telling friends, tomorrow the crimes will be only on the cyber crimes. Why? We don't keep our money in the house now. We don't keep our money in the wallets. We don't keep anything in the pocket. We will only use now cards. That means if you want 100 rupees, you will barge into an ATM, then you take 100 rupees. Because this digitalization has made you not to use more physical money, but we are welcoming more cyber crimes in this. The digitalization is making us to open more forums for the cyber crime people. So please be careful. Cyber security is also very important. Maybe tomorrow, when you take an insurance policy on certain aspects which we could have discussed, except on life partner, that is on our family, they are not giving any insurance for others. But all these transactions are also having the insurance. Banking transaction is having an insurance, availing online services. All these people are getting now insurances for this. That means before they are giving the insurance, they will ask you all these questions to be ticked. That means before you pay, you sign the document for the insurance purpose for this act. At least at that time, they will tell you, have you taken these cyber security things? When you tick it on the insurance document, that means that you are accepting, yes, I am taking it. If you fail to take one aspect out of that, then tomorrow, if you claim for your insurance, they will not say that we will not pay you the insurance to you. They will bluntly say that you have ticked in your insurance form and you have paid the amount for me, but you have not taken care of the cyber crime. It is only their duty that you are responsible for it and you yourself will be taking care of it. That means it is not the insurance people's responsibility. It is your own responsibility for getting it secured yourself from the cyber aspects. So at that time, you may not lose your stolen things. You'll also lose the insurance part of it. That is where the aspect of cyber security comes into picture. Friends, please be careful. The technology is doing everything in our life except one. I will not disclose that. Everything they are doing it. Technology is doing everything. Even the robotic science have come into picture. Tomorrow, they may even prepare our own food. So we will become more lazy and we will not take care of ourselves, and where we will also not take care of the security things. So friends, be careful of yourselves, that it is also very, very important for us also to take care of the cyber security aspects, or else you will not be secured with your own money. So friends, few other aspects also we will be discussing. That means new and powerful cyber attacks are striking the internet regularly. That means the internets are getting striked. That means the cyber attacks are happening. It means that knowingly or unknowingly, when you are doing certain transaction, you may be not aware that, for example, a Google is monitoring entire your laptop. Google is monitoring entire your mobile. You are not even aware that. But when somebody asks for some payment, part of it, and say that where is JLN Murthy now sitting, then the Google will take the payment and it will say that JLN Murthy is sitting in his office and doing the cyber law second day program, for which Google gets some money. But we doesn't even know, JLN Murthy do not even know that somebody is observing, somebody is recording, somebody is taking notes of what it's doing in the open space. Just think of what situation we are in. Even in every aspects of your life, you may be monitored with some or other cameras. Just think of, while you are walking on the road, there are some or other cameras. When you get into your office, there are cameras. We will feel secured by having that, but we are not having the minimum security on our gadgets. That is where the striking of the cyber attacks are frequently happening. We will only listen to the news, we will only see the news in the media, televisions, but we will think that it has happened to somebody, it has not happened to me. But your knowingly or unknowingly, it could have already happened to you. So friends, please take care of all these things and look into these aspects when you yourself become an expertise on the cyber laws, and you yourself also have to look into guide your own clients, and you yourself, when you are contesting this particular matter in various forums, you need to also, because yesterday we have discussed about the duties of the tribunals and also its implementation. So any other aspects we have not left out, it very, very important aspects since yesterday to today, which are very basic and very important things. And now that is why we are discussing in the final second part on the cyber security. A minor lapse in managing our digital lives can open up the door for cyber criminals. Cyber criminals can steal our money or damage our reputation also. Sir, today JLN Murthy is the patron for cyber intelligence. Today the chair JLN Murthy is also chairman for the Global Laws Institute. Why I am eager to bring all these educational programs? Because primarily when I have got educated myself in my life, I never this kind of laws were there. Never have got acquainted these laws. But the current generation, yes, need to understand this. The current generation has to take as one aspect, because there is a huge potential, huge potential avenue is available for them in the cyber law side. Need to understand by themselves, need to get nitty-gritties, prepare very important aspects which they may be under college now, but thoroughly they need to understand. So friends, at the same time, according to study of leading industry research organization, 90% of all cyber attacks are caused by human negligence. So just think of the percentage, 90% I am asking. Not even 50%. I'm telling 90%. Where the difference is only 10%. That means 10% of the people are only taking care of the security. We are in a very, very, very bad situation. But if somebody is getting into the profession, there is a huge, huge potential for them to get into this profession. Therefore, cyber security awareness is very important for everyone today. We must be vigilant while making use of the technology to reduce the risk of cyber threats. Yes, if without spending some time, some money, you may not get the cyber security. You need to compulsorily spend some time. You need to understand that by implementing what all the avoidances of the cyber criminals with you, that means the cyber crimes happening with you, can be avoided. We may know only one thing, sir. Initially, when I have started learning the computer, somebody said that, what is this running in the computer? It is antivirus. Oh, very good. I doesn't even know at that time there is an antivirus. But yes, today antivirus has become an absolute. You have various apps on your mobile. You have various apps on your computer system. You have your various apps on everywhere. But you are not aware that apps are getting intruded into your data. That means by accepting certain Zoom or certain Cisco or certain this kind of a forums, they are getting access to your data. They are physically present on your computer. They may be physically present on your mobile, but at the same time, these apps are selling so many things to various other forums also. They will supply this data by selling themselves for X amount, and they will sell that, sir, we will provide you for around 1 lakh people where my app is there on certain mobiles and I am accessible to this data. Tell me what you want and what is the cost you are going to pay for that. Very bad situation. Very, very bad. No security at all. The moment something comes to us with colors and everything, we will immediately start downloading it. We don't have to waste our time. No. Why? Because it can be downloaded in your mobile itself. You do not want to wait up till to get it downloaded on your computer. At least. No. You want to do it with your two fingers, thumb fingers, and want to get insecure yourself. Friends, we will be now discussing in the cyber security what all the cyber criminals are. That means the privacy and security of the data will always be top security measures that any organization has to take care. We are presently living in a world where all the information is maintained on its digital or cyber form. Yes? I am correct. Why? To register for this particular program, which we are doing yesterday and today, everybody could have simply with the hand thumbs could have filled the form. We are giving all our data to them. We don't know tomorrow the institutions what they are going to do with that. We need to take care of certain important aspects because the cyber criminals will enter into this particular into this particular privacy locations for us, which we thought that it is only our privacy, but nobody knows that. We are presently living in the world where all the information is maintained in a digital or cyber forms. Social networking sites provides a space where user feels safe and they interact with friends and family. Yes, they interact with the family and we do everything on the mobiles. In the case of home users, which is very important, that in the home users also, where the cyber criminals would continue to target social media and sites to steal the personal data. Not only the social networking, but also during the bank transactions, which are very important, and where the cyber criminals will intrude when you do not have the cyber security aspects in your computer or in your mobile side. Here, here mentioned below, which are very, very important. That is the web servers, and which the threat of attack of web applications, which I have been saying to you, that not only the intruders will use the internet, but the intruders through internet will be able to control your own mobile through various apps. Friends, we will become one day helpless that if an application comes, when you download that, it can automatically stop you working on your mobile. Then think of what kind of a situation you will be. That is where you need to take care of the cyber security within yourself, where the attacks of web application to extract the data or distribute malicious code persists. Cyber criminals distribute their malicious code via legitimate web servers they have compromised. But data stealing attacks, many of which get the attention of media, are also a big threat. You may be having the legal provisions for you for the punishments and the crimes which we have just now, which we have only discussed 10 aspects. We have not even discussed much more. Very, very important aspects on the day-to-day life we have just discussed. Yes, each cyber crime has at least 3 years to 7 years imprisonment, and each punishment penalty is minimum 1 lakh to 5 lakh rupees. We are talking about lakhs. We are talking about more than 1 year the imprisonment. But we are getting it praise under the cyber criminals every day unknowingly ourselves. Are we challenging this? Are we taking care of our own securities? Which are very, very important, friends. Please keep note on this. This presentation will be shared with this particular webinar organizers. Please keep repeating and share with your all friends so that they will also get aware on this. Very important aspects which we have just now discussed, and it is also the cyber security where you need to have the criminals not getting intrude into your cyber security area. If you do not get your cyber secured, then you will be gone case for immediately without your knowledge. Now we need to have greater emphasis on protecting the web servers and web applications, which are very important. And web servers are especially the best platform for these cyber criminals to steal the data. Hence, one must always use the safer browsers, especially during important transactions, in order not to fall as a prey for these particular crimes. Friends, at the same time, when you are also changing the trends, which are very important, during the trend changing, you also need to understand what kind of a forum you are using it. When you are using a different kind of a forum, for example, cloud computing and its services. These days, all small, medium, and large companies are slowly adopting cloud services, where, in other words, the world is slowly moving towards the clouds. That means we are now getting out of our inner space, we are getting into the cloud space, and slowly we will get into cyberspace. That means we are got into a motorbike, we got into a bus, we got into a train, we got into an aircraft, and now we are getting into an astronaut rockets, where we are jumping from one place to other and allowing the criminals to enter in the cyberspace. Unless we don't take the security, there are trending situations also here, because we are more looking at digitalization. That means work from home we are doing, for example. Your entire work you are doing for last 3 months from home, most of them. But how much you are getting exposed? Are we able to take the security reasons for your laptops and mobiles? That need to be questioned ourselves. So friends, cloud computing we are entering to, and the latest present big challenge for cyber security is traffic can go around traditional points of inspection. That means the required data what you have in your computer or in your mobile or wherever it is, the distribution traffic is going in various multi-forms. That means either it is getting out through the cloud, either it is getting out through your traffic of internet in the various forms. While you are doing some kind of a transforming, that means transferring the data also. So keep yourself alert on this. Additionally, as number of applicants available in the cloud grows, for policy controls for web application, cloud services will also need to evolve in order to prevent the loss of valuable information. Check when you are entering into certain applications or certain cloud forms or XYZ for your security reasons, what all the services they provide. For example, when you take an insurance policy, you will ask them the very important aspect now, whether I am covered with the corona or not. Oh, then the moment he says that, yes, you are covered with corona, then you will pay immediately a check and say that I am covered with everything. Don't think like that. Think yourself what all the each aspects on the, like an agreement, when you go through that, look into each aspect, understand it, and then sign it and pay for it. Don't look in hasty manner, but think what are the securities part on it. So which are very, very important for you, and there are a lot of trend changings are happening. I will also discuss with certain some more important thoughts in this. Though cloud services are developing their own models, still a lot of issues are being brought up about their security. Cloud may provide immense opportunities, but it should always be noted that cloud evolves, so it is security concerns also need to be increased. At the same time, in this trend setting, you may also find that the mobile devices which we are using normally, which I have been keep on saying just now. Today we are able to connect to everyone in any part of the world, but for this mobile network security is very big concern for us. Sir, we are getting exposed through mobile to all over the world at this corona situation through these web logins, through these various forums. Earlier, we doesn't even know that this Zoom, WebEx, Cisco, all these forums are available or not, but we are already getting our data feeded in various forms. But whether you need to look into that, whether we are secured or not, I'm not saying that you're doing something wrong, but tomorrow people using these particular aspects may charge to give the data to some other people. At these days, it is very important. Maybe the old saying is there. Maybe everybody could have forgotten by this now. Firewalls used to be there in the computer. Yes, that is also very, very important. And other security measures are becoming porous as people are using devices such as tablet, phones, PCs, etc., which again requires extra securities apart from these present applications used. We must always think about the security issues of these mobile networks. Further, mobile networks are highly prone to these cyber crimes. A lot of care must be taken in case for the cyber security issues. So friends, keep in mind that in this trend setting changes, what all the important aspects which we have been discussing until now. There are a technology change. There are a digitalization change. There now the trend setting. The trend setting is such a form that you cannot even control yourself. So very specifically, the encryption of the code. That is a process of encoding the messages in such a way that eavesdroppers or hackers cannot read it. So need to be this kind of trend settings are happening, and this encryption scheme, the message of information encrypted using an encrypted algorithm, turning it into a unreadable cipher text, and encryption is also used to protect the data in transit. For example, data being transferred via networks. Friends, in your childhood, you could have heard that there are some messages has been given by military people. Even when I am at the younger stage, when I was a child, I used to surprise, because one of my family friends used to say that, no, we will not talk on the telephones. We will only send the messages by decoding. So I thought that this decoding is some other foreign language. But now I think to safeguard ourselves, and also in the current trend situations, to secure ourselves, we need to have encrypting. That means, hence, by encrypting the code, one can know that if there is any leakage of the information or not. We need to test ourselves. So friends, these are all important trend-setting changes which we are undergoing on day-to-day life. We have discussed yesterday what is cyber laws. We have discussed about the various forums of the cyber addressing legal aspects, and we have discussed about the various cyber crimes. Today we have discussed about the punishments on it, and also the important alignment and one specialized aspects of forensic side. And now we have been discussed about the cyber security and its changing trends also. Now we will be also look at the social media. Until now we have not at all looked into the role of social media in cyber security is also very, very important. That means the social media plays a huge role in cyber security, will contribute a lot of personal cyber threats. Social media adoption among the personal in skyrocketing, and so it is threat for an attack. Just read the word skyrocketing. Since social media or social networking sites are almost used by most of them in every day. When you start doing some internet answering, when you start replying to your own friend, when you log out, you will find certain media advertisements. When irrelevant photographs are shown, the moment the photographs are shown, you are getting attracted to that. That means when you started attracting to that, you are also getting into the intrusion of cyber attack by yourself. The hijackers are waiting for you. That means they are already having all the information of your mobile. They want to gain entire access to your systems. Just media is also one aspect which also we need to take care of your own cyber security reasons in the social media. Don't get attracted. Don't try to immediately open. There are a lot of advertisements keep on coming when you are handling certain things. You are thinking that you are not paid, you are not paying for it, but they are paying to get advertisement introduced in your mobile. That screen is coming because the advertisers are doing, because they are earning much more money than what they are doing it. That means that is why social media is getting advertised in your mobile, and you are caught up with the cyber crime in your systems. So friends, please be careful. The social media plays a huge role in the cyber security and will contribute a lot of your cyber threats also, personal cyber threats also in this. Social media adoption among personals very specifically on skyrocketing. Social media is a social networking site, are almost used by most of them every day. It can become a huge platform for cyber criminals for hacking private information and also stealing the valuable doubts. So just keep in mind that this is the very, very important aspect, that you cannot neglect a social media. We have been discussing about the various trends. We have been discussing about the digitalization. Digitalization is more happening nowadays in social media than any other part of the aspects. That means social media is become an endanger to your life, because you are getting it attracted for the various colors in that particular part. Don't get surprised. Don't think that JLN Murthy is saying something new to you, but it is part and parcel of your cyber laws. It is part and parcel. Not only knowing the laws, it is also part and parcel that what all the crimes happening, what all the social things you need to take care, what all the security things you need to take care, what all the important avenues like forensic, like for example, evidence, electronic records, bullying, all these things become as a branches for the cyber laws now. There are multiple things are evolving every day. By tomorrow, I may not be knowing that some other important branch in the cyber law could have been already evolved. So just think of how the cyber crimes are evolving into. Just think of how many zones it are getting attracted by. Just think of how the digitalization is fast moving. So friends, you also need to understand that more social, it is increasingly connected to the world. Companies must find new ways of protect personal information also. By this, the learning is this. In the world where we quick to give up our personal information, companies have to ensure they just as quick in identifying the threats also, which is very important, responding in real time and avoiding the breach of any kind. Yesterday I was been telling, when you are got attacked with some kind of a cyber crime, friends, please immediately react, because if you don't react immediately, it will be a loss of your own data. The moment you got attacked with the cyber crime, you should have always in the tips of your mind, you may be having your most close friends' mobile numbers in your mobile contacts. Try to keep the cyber toll-free numbers also. There are various websites which have come up. There are various toll-free numbers which are coming up. Every state is implementing this. Be careful, friends. Why the government, why the state police is looking into this very seriously? Because earlier there used to be only one division or one department in each state. But now there is cyber police stations, there are cyber sites, not only one or two government cyber sites, there are hundreds of cyber sites which are safeguarding you. When this crime happens to you, you also need to keep in mind, it should be immediately informed. By the time the data is lost, you will be able to recoup, if you inform them, at least some data, and you will be safeguarded with your money or whatever you lost to some extent. Since people are easily attracted by this social media, the hackers use them as a way to get the information and the data they require. Hence, people must take appropriate measures, especially in deleting the social media, in order to prevent the loss of their information. In addition, giving anyone the power of commercially sensitive information, social media also gives the same power to spread false information also. So friends, just think of what situation you are in. Be careful while dealing your own gadgets. So the rapid spread of false information will also be a global risk, which are identified for 2013 report. At the same time, the social media can be used for cyber crimes. These companies cannot afford to stop the social media, as it plays an important role in publicity of their company. So I cannot avoid immobile. Just think of what situation we are in. We can leave our girlfriends, we can leave our wives, but we cannot avoid nowadays the mobiles. That has become so important. But friends, try to spend some time without having these gadgets. Instead, they must have a solution that will notify them the threat in order. That means the antivirus systems which were causing a major damage for you. That means the cyber crimes, the role of your social media, how important that, and also how damages are getting into you by a speed and rapid digitalization. So this need also to be taken care. And also the company should understand that recognition and importance of analyzing the information. That means certain threats need to be popped up. Like earlier we used to have a pop-up things, and this popped up need to be also has to be bring in notice to you that this is the threat, it is going to come into your action immediately. Please take care of yourself. Access control, very specifically the techniques of securities. That means access control and password security, authentication of data, firewalls, anti-software. These are all the important techniques where you can lead to the cyber securities, where you also need to have certain ethics. That means very important, do use the internet to communicate, the interact, with other people. So that means cyber ethics are nothing but the code of internet. When practiced while cyber ethics, there are good chances of using the internet in a proper and safer way. Email and instant messaging make it easy to stay in touch with friends and families, but information with people across the towns are half a way around. Just keep it in mind that these ethics need to be. So when these things are happening to you, you also need to look at the bullying on the internet. Do not call people names, tie them, lie about them, send embarrassing pictures. All these things you also need to have certain ethics. Internet is considered as world's largest library with information. That is why Google, Microsoft, all this, eBay, various forums are coming into picture. They will grab the data from you and they will know the social status of yourself, and they know you what is your pocket status. Pocket status is your purse status, your money status. If JLN Murthy is having hundreds of notes and 500 notes, 2000 notes in his pocket, then the Google will know that JLN Murthy is having today in his pocket around 2500 rupees. So what is the best advertisement need to be given him? So they will advertise a restaurant while he is sitting idle on his mobile. So when the restaurant advertisement is coming, JLN Murthy will think that today I had to go and spend in the restaurant. When they think that JLN Murthy is getting acquainted with more dressing, they will give the advertisement of social media. Just think of the psychological impacts which are making through this kind of a cyber space. How things are happening. Just think of people, not only the psychological or psychiatrist way of thinking. Everything is coming through the social media. People are reading us through these cyber spaces. People are making us to spend the money from his pocket through the social media. Friends, please don't get angry on this, but we are all got intruded into this. It is everyday's life, it is happening to us. So please be careful. These things are happening. Just think twice every day that what should do and what should not be done. So internet is considered as world's largest library with information. Everybody is purchasing information from internet and they are misusing and they are selling through the marketing. Never share your personal information to anyone. There is a good chance of others misusing. Finally, you will end up with a trouble. So friends, with this, I will sum up the very important aspect on cyber crimes we have been discussing today, and we will be now will have a little bit on the question and answer session, which we will wind up today. And I thought of sharing with you on the electronic evidence, but I think there is little bit of time. If organizers are able to allow me, I will be able to do that. Please let me know.
Sure, sir, you can proceed with that.
Okay, thank you. Are you able to see the presentation, new presentation?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So are you able to see the electronic evidence and special reference to admissibility of the electronic record? This is a new presentation. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Friends, I have been telling to you yesterday and today also, the cyber crime has become with multiple avenues now. Where it is one of the important aspect which we have discussed today is on the side of forensic. Now this electronic evidence also, because everything has become a specialized aspect now. That means when you are getting into a cyber crime or cyber security, you also need to have specializations. Like in laws, you may be having very specific, like cyber laws, IPR, ADR, merger acquisitions, like that. When you are doing it, some kind of a very specific aspects, specialization aspects in the cyber crimes also, in the cyber laws. These specialized areas are coming up every day. This is generally, this electronic evidence is generally used by the investigation process. During the investigation process, this electronic evidence much will be submitted in the court and in other areas. Why? Because if you do not know this kind of avenue is there, if you do not understand the electronic evidence and admissibility of the electronic record, you may be surprising when you are arguing your own case. You may be surprising when somebody comes to you and make you to understand the situation and what need to be done by yourself. So this is also very important aspect which I thought that I should share with you. Very, very important thing which we are specially getting into a special reference of the evidence. That means the electronic record. Electronic evidence is any probative information stored or transmitted in a digital form that a party or a court case may be used at a trial. Yes, you should also have the knowledge. What is the other people are going to do the investigation? What is this? Various agencies are doing it. You should also understand. You cannot become only a law arguing person. You should also understand what is there in their system. If you understand what is there in your system, when you are arguing, you will be able to understand during the process of investigation whether they have done correct or wrong. Without knowledge, you cannot argue yourself. You may be knowing laws, but you also need to understand certain techniques, because in this, the trends are technology trends, they are using it. It is also very important for you to understand the electronic evidence also. Before accepting the digital evidence, a court will determine in the evidence it is relevant or not, whether it is authentic, it is whether hearsay, and whether a copy is acceptable or the original is required. Very specifically, during this particular course, you will find a human intervention. The entire process of procuring electronic evidence is controlled by human agencies only. Then you need to understand the controls and results of the scientific forensic examination, which we have just now discussed. Appreciating the technology, at the same time applying the technology. It is very important that the value of evidence in one or other way. One may lose the evidence not because of the lack of technology, but because of the lack of appreciation of the technology. That is why I have been saying to you, with my small experience, when somebody calls you that so-and-so cyber crime has happened on me, you immediately tell that whatever data you have, you do so-and-so steps. If you do not do the so-and-so step, you'll be losing everything. So make him secure. Make him feel that, yes, you are secured first. When you make him feel that you are secured with your data sharing immediately, then he will automatically come to you for the usage part of it. Usage part in the sense, getting it back his own money or getting his back his data, all XYZs which we have discussed. At the same time, authentication is also very, very important. As with any evidence, the proponent of digital evidence must lay the proper foundation. Courts largely consider themselves with the reliability and such a digital evidence. As such, early court decisions required that authentication called for more comprehensive foundation. I am just thrusting on the more comprehensive foundation as courts become more familiar with digitalization documents. That means they are backed away with higher standards and have since held the computer data. Compilation should be treated as very important other record. We will also need to appreciate the evidence part of it. It may be in the multiple forums where the judge will conclude your evidence. That means the appreciation of the evidence part of it. In the various forums in this, there are three aspects you have to always keep in mind. User created evidence, computer created evidence, electronic evidence. Friends, in 2007, when I was supporting a corporate company called ATFL, Agrotech Foods Limited, and with a company called Lakshmi Solvex. This is my own case in the High Court of Andhra Pradesh. At that time, there was an exchange of documents happened for an agreement, but the signatures all not happened. So it has become a very important challenge for me to prove that yes, both the parties have read and agreed to the agreement, because when the dispute has been raised, this question has been raised by the other party. When I was arguing the case, it has become a very good experience that for me, how to prove myself that the agreement is a valid one. Then by arguing this particular case, I could understand to certain things in the cyber laws. I could also understand and prove and get the various forums before the court and get explanation done. So just think of this small experience for me around 13 years back has made me to learn on the cyber laws. So friends, there are very, very important evidences also need to be kept in mind. For example, when user created evidence, subscribers records need to be kept, text, images, web pages, database, videos, and sound files. In the computer created evidence, network sockets, backup and registry files, browser cache, activity logs, email headers, and surveillance tapes. So just think of, in these particular evidences, you have to keep in mind these aspects: electronic evidence, emails, digital photographs, ATM transactions, e-commerce transaction. So when you are advising your own clients, you need to keep up all these things in the mind. I will share this presentation to the organizers today. Search engine keywords, database, hard disk, data cards, SIM cards, magnetic cards, device memory, media storage devices, routers and ports. All these things are very, 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 very important for you, for your evidence in the courts. Just also think that the examiner of electronic evidence, how it is valid under section 79A of the IT Act of 2000. The scope of 79A Act says that narrates the provision about the examiner of a electronic evidence which is required for the purpose of this act. So just understand, the electronic evidence is how important to prove yourself in the cyber crime. At the same time, the central government providing the expert opinion for electronic evidence, they may also put up an agency as an examiner in electronic evidence. So all these aspects will help you for you to tomorrow to get the evidence part of it through an authorized agencies. So how the applicability under IT Act of 2000 under section 79A. At the same time, we also looked into the best evidence rule. That means digital evidence is almost never in the format of readable by the humans, which I have shared with you on my first slide of this presentation, requiring additional steps to include digital document as evidence. Printing out of the material is also sometimes very important in the digital evidence. That means the evidence also need to depend on the printing areas also. It has been argued that the change of format may mean digital evidence does not qualify under the best evidence rule sometimes. So very specifically, we should also go through the history of the electronic evidence. The proliferation of computers and also the information technology, where the amendment is based on the United States Commission, that unilateral body model law was amended and allowed the admissibility of the digital evidence. This has been brought with the unilateral body in the model law. This is the basic history of how the electronic evidence is emerged into. An amendment into the Evidence Act of 1872, Indian Penal Code 1860, and the Bankers Book Evidence Act 1891 provides the legislative framework for transaction in the electronic world. Yes, friends, don't worry. Much before to our IT Act, there is something existing as history for you. whether it is applicable, whether it is lawful or not, but history is there for you. For us, history is very important than the current law. So we'll always should start our career in the history side, then come into the current situation. But there is a history for electronic evidence also. We will now discuss about the digital evidence also. So friends, not only the electronic, now electronic mode has wiped out. It has been wiped out and nobody will be thinking to discuss on that. Now the current situation is only digital for us. Yes, the cyber crimes are happening in the digital mode and we doesn't know how to safeguard for ourselves. But at the same time, how and what way the digital evidence is existing. Friends, the information of a probative value that is stored in a transmitted in binary form, evidence is not only limited to the found of computers. The e-evidence can be found in emails, digital photographs, ATM transaction logs, XYZ. The digital evidence tends to be more voluminous, more difficult to destroy, and easily modified, easily duplicated. So just think of as you use it. So friends, be careful. Then you tap the digital evidence, you need to tap in the much earlier period when the crime happens. When you go to the court, this is going to be one of the primary facts for you to give the evidence before the court. So it is up to you how you are going to trap that, how you are going to record it. There are various ways, various aspects. There are various scientific ways. All these things also you need to understand how to do that particular information to be kept in your bank. So that when you argue your case, when you defend your client, or when you want the money from other side, all these things are very, very important. But evidentiary regime on the internet side also we need to look into. That means almost all evidence to prove facts of the litigation involving the internet will be computer generated only. The Indian Evidence Act 1872 does not define a computer but allows the copies to be made by the mechanical process or through uniforming printing. So it is like this. The father is not defined but son is defined. It defines the printing. It defines the mechanical process of printing, but it not defines from where the father is. But somewhere it is being defined in the Indian Evidence Act 1872. References of computer and media are also made regards evidence in the Companies Act 1956. So just be careful on this and kindly note that where we are coming from and what need to be argued and how things need to be taken care. Now we will be discussing about the computer generated evidence, the real evidence. That means the calculation and its analysis are very, very important. When you meet or when you discuss with the cybercrime experts, when you start talking to him, he may be talking something in his mind and he will be telling you, we need to analyze. You may be getting something confused. You may be saying that, what is this analysis? We are talking about law and this gentleman is talking about the analysis. Yes, without analysis, no evidence can be provided. No evidence can be generated. So there is a lot of analysis work need to be done in the computer and in the cyber crimes. If you lose this analysis details, some may be losing it in the initial stage if you do not report it. That is why I am saying you, we are also becoming, when you are becoming a cyber laws expert, you also need to become a big analyst of yourself. You need to use your scientific brains also before this. So please friends, not only becoming a lawyers, you also need to become expertised with different kinds of intelligence. That is where we are discussing today in this intelligence organization. So friends, be careful that more things need to be learned, more things need to be understood, more laws need to be studied. So it is not very simple that to understand the cyber crimes. You need to learn yourself. You need to go across with the current situation with this cyber space now. For every minute, there are a lot of things are changing. For every minute, you need to learn certain things. So you have to keep running in space, not in the roads. You need to keep running on the space side. Like the real evidence, for example, a bank computer automatically calculated the bank charges dues for the customer based on its tariff, the account and daily cleared credit balances. This calculation would be a piece meal for a real evidence. Every month, my organizations will get some or other debits and credits, but I'm maybe looking at the credits, but there is a debits also. Nowadays banks are doing it. For every transaction, if you do more than 5 times ATM machine, if you use it, there'll be a debit to you. So friends, this is a real-time evidence to you how things are happening and how it has been controlled. This is also a real-time evidence for you. Let us also discuss the other kinds of evidences also. That is hearsay evidence, derived evidence, where computers and copies of information supplied to the computer by a human being. Like, for example, material and treated of a hearsay evidence. Example, check drawn and paying slips created in the bank account, which will fall in hearsay evidence. Derived evidence, usually treated as a information supplied to a computer by human being. And where I'm giving you one more bank statement example for you, individual checks and paying in the entries form. These are all the different kinds, and where we have now until discussed about the human interference little bit, but now we will also discuss about the one more very important one is video conferencing. Yes, recording of evidence by video conferencing also satisfies the object of Evidence Act. The accused and his pleader can say that the witness as clearly as if the witness is actually sitting before them. In fact, the accused may be able to see the witness better. So this I will leave it to certain cases and certain court judgments, where how they are taken and how the judgments depend on the judgments given. So I will not be able to argue on this, but certain things are little bit considered in the evidence part in the video conference also. In Delhi serial blast case, so where the issued notice to jail authorities in Gujarat and Maharashtra, and these things are taken care for the court proceedings. Taking into consideration of security lapses, certain things, the jail hearings are happening, thus linking the courts through video conferences. And now in this pandemic situations, we are doing everything on our mobile. Even my High Court hearings and my Supreme Court hearings are happening on a mobile. But friends, please be careful, take care of your security things in that. So everything is digitalized, everything is filed, e-filing, without going to the courts. Last 3 months, I have never seen my court again. Just think of every day morning 10:30 I used to be there. Now think of my situation. I'm not even there for court for last 3 months. So just think of how technology has been changing. But at the same time, sometimes you also need to understand the evidence admissibility, which is very, very important. Since computer generated evidence is very, very important, and thus the focus on Indian Evidence Act positions in UK and US also looked into. So we need to also parallelly looked into the unilateral model, which has been competent and usage worldwide, how the evidences also have been given. I'm fortunate enough to act on this in few cases, which I have shared with you earlier, that how the evidence and electronic mode record are presented in the High Court and won the cases. So advanced systems which were already there, and also when the CRPC 1973 evidence is taken down in writing by magistrate himself in the dictation in open court, would be fully met in the advanced scientific and technology states. So be careful, friends. This admissibility of electronic record is also very important, and at the same time, in this method, the drawback when the court dictation was happening, the witness is not in the court. There may be difficulties in contempt of court, but perjury is himself, that it is immediately noticed that he was perjured himself. So therefore, as a matter of procedure, evidence by video conferencing in the court should be taken only if the witness is in a country which has been extradition treaty with India, under whose laws contempt of court and perjury also punishable. These are the minute things which also you need to keep in your mind when you're dealing with international cases. But of course, to certain extent, now with the changing scenario on the various treaties, you are now a little bit safeguarded. We are able to bring the big barons to India now. We are in continuous efforts for that. So let us see that the results will be positive now. Let us take the Admission Act. Section 17 of the Indian Evidence Act defines admission of evidence. Section 22A of the Section Act provides the relevance of any oral evidence. So remember, until your evidence is admissibility, it is a question. Now big players in the scene has come into Section 65A, 65B of the Indian Evidence Act 1872 still exist. So friends, with this few words, I may be leaving with you some case laws to you, so that which you may not be able to miss in this session. So I will share with the few case laws and some of this particular electronic evidence case laws. Friends, let me discuss about the Amitabh Bakshi versus Hina Bakshi, where the court held that physical presence of a person may not be required in the purpose of adducing the evidence, and the same can be done through the medium like video conferencing, which I have said in Section 65A, 65B provides the provisions relating to electronic records. Also, in the state of Maharashtra versus Praful B. Desai, the legal requirement for the presence of witness does not mean actual physical presence, but there is no reason why the examination of witness by video conference should not be an essential part of the electronic evidence. So with same facility, the ease of physical presence is removed. State of Delhi, NCLT Delhi and Navjot Sidhu. I think this is very important appeal against the conviction, where attack of parliament on December 13, 2001, where the case dealt with proof and admissibility of mobile telephones call records. So thus, the prosecution has failed to produce the relevant certificates under Section 65B of 4 of the Evidence Act. The Supreme Court concluded that cross-examination of competent witness acquainted with the functioning of computer during the relevant time and manner in which the printouts of call records were taken was sufficient to prove the call records. This is an exceptional thing where the computer printouts were able to help out where it has been taken out. That means the Evidence Act has little bit supported in this particular case in the Delhi state of NCLT Delhi case. So friends, today with this presentation, I will sum up the 2-day sessions on the cyber laws, and maybe I could be able to discuss with you with 2 to 3 important aspects and areas of the branches of cyber crimes, which are very, very important to you. And I will leave to the forum now to have few questions.
Thank you, sir, for your session. Should we proceed to the question answer round now?
Yes.
So, sir, we have our first question from one of the participants. He's asking, what are the companies that are hiring those who do cyber laws as specialization and as their permanent legal counsel in the team?
There are companies. Don't think of first the companies. The first question should be, sir, where all the internships I can do that I can learn the cyber crimes? Yes, there are multiple companies. Amazon is hiring. Every industry which is having more than 25 persons in a company are started hiring now. Huge sums are paid for them. Why? Because the expertise on the cyber crimes and cyber laws, there are very less people. So there are multinationals in India. Each and every multinational in India are hiring not less than 3 people in the cyber laws and cyber internet usages. So friends, there is enough scope for you to get into the cyber laws as a specialized people, and the pay packets are minimum to minimum about the 45,000 rupees. If I am a graduate, if I have learned something, my minimum salary will be from 10 to 25,000. But the specialized people on cyber crimes and cyber laws, they are started paying from minimum from 45,000 rupees.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to our next question. One participant is asking to give you an insight to the cyber SLAPP cases in India and the steps taken here to combat against this type.
See, my area of specialization is not that, so I will not be able, do not want to comment on this.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next question. One is asking that if someone misuses some data from the social media sites, then whom can you go and file the complaint about it?
Yes,
What
very
is the
good.
procedure thereafter?
Yeah, very good question. He may be from one or other state of India. When he has these things, the cyber, in the social media, if you are able to trace the minimum evidence on that, take the printouts, take the backup, put it with you first, and there are many toll-free numbers. There are many central government controlled websites. Immediately you can view the control on the website itself, view the complaint on the website itself. So just Google in the website, the state you are concerned, take that particular website, immediately you can give on the website. That means within seconds you can give the complaint. No need to go to the police station, no need to go to the cyber police stations. Just start giving the complaint in that. It will automatically safeguard and answer you within 48 hours, within 24 hours. You will get a reply. When you file the complaint itself, you will get a reply that yes, your complaint is recorded, your complaint number is so and so. Don't think when you go for a normal complaint to the police station, you may not be getting an FIR, or you may not be getting the acknowledgement for your complaint given. But in the cyber crime, it is so fast, it is happening. The moment you give a complaint in the website, immediately within few minutes you are getting a complaint registered number. So no need to worry. You can give on a website the complaint. Just Google what all the states which are in your own state who are doing it and what is the website. Keep it with you. Toll-free number is also one more important aspect, and you will be able to. Central government is very eager in implementing this, and they are giving better services which are very fast.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to our next question is, if a person registered a false and a fictitious complaint that is related to the cyber crime, then what is the remedy that will be available for the victim, and when and where it will be processed?
See, there are various forums for this particular cyber crimes. It is happening. When you go to an address before a tribunal, or when you go to the police station for an FIR on the cyber crime, there is an investigation process where the charge sheet is also been filed. But during the process, if he has been put in places in the false crime, or even the charge sheet filed is also with certain evidences, when you argue any case before the court, when you are able to prove yourself that is a false implication. I have been discussing on the various crimes and its sections, applicable sections of IT Act and its applicable sections under IPC also I have shared with you. But it is up to you. The evidence what you have to prove before any court, or you have to able to prove yourself. So friends, the onus lies on you that if a false complaint is given, then it is also onus lies on you that it is a false complaint. So let me not comment on what is the complaint filed, but it is always, as a lawyer, I am telling you, if you have a good lawyer, if you are able to prove yourself, always you are going to be correct. But sometimes it so happens falsely, you will also be get into a culprit manner, but that is helpless situations. So courts are there to help you out, but it should be a reasonable evidence to be produced before them.
Thank you, sir. Our next question is, recently in the state of Andhra Pradesh, the CID and the police supplies as notice to some people posting some posts on social medias which seem to be exposed the government failures in certain issues like the Vizag gas leak strategy and the Amarpati capital issues. is it come on, does it will come under the cyber crime?
See, certain aspects, very specifically, when you look at usage of certain information where the police is doing certain duties and the state government is in the implementation stage. Yes, when you are giving a wrong information on a space available to you, yes, certainly it will become a cyber crime.
Thank you, sir. Our next question is, if we want to produce an email correspondence between the plaintiff and the defendant as an evidence, then will bear producing the printout of the email from the registered email ID will be admissible as evidence?
Yes.
And
Yes, before you complete the question also, I am saying you, yes, it is evidence. Just now we have discussed the Evidence Act, how the electronic printouts is usable, all these things. Not only that, the IT Act, I have been saying, you know, the father is not recognized, but sons are recognized, or daughter is recognized. So in that scenario, yes, I can say.
sir, that's it for the question answer round. Now I'll ask the founder Priya Gupta to please give the vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. We, the whole team of Legal Intelligence, thank Mr. J.L. Murthy, sir, for his valuable time and to grace the course with knowledge information. It is our privilege to have sir as our patron and the speaker of the course. Hope all have gained knowledge from this course. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All of you, and I thank very specifically the legal intelligence team who have been doing wonderful work on these sites, coming with various legal aspects, different legal aspects to the most wanted students and most wanted advocates and legal fraternity. Not only the legal fraternity, for other areas of the people, I should appreciate being as a patron to this institution. I am proud of to be a patron to this institution. Thank you for your teamwork, and I wish you all of you a brand success and wish you all the best to your life. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.